America smashed this place with big bombs, more than 2 million tonnes in the time of the Vietnam War, which is more than what was dropped by all of the Allies together during the whole of the Second World War. So Laos has a huge, large bomb problem, and they lose a lot of people every year. Since the war ended, in excess of 12,000 people have been killed or injured by bombs or other remnants of war. 30% of these items didn't explode and remain live today. But in many areas, it's near impossible to farm. People blow themselves up whilst cultivating the land. This has kept people poor, and the new cash crop now, I suppose, is scrap metal. It's an industry or a way they can make money where there probably isn't any other occupation out in the rural areas. It's either hunt for metal to sell or hunt for your food in the jungle. Well, in a way, it's like everybody wants to harvest the bombs, us to destroy them, and the scrap collectors to sell them. So I have to try and get to the bombs before the local people can. But because of the sheer amount of bombs, we just don't have enough trained people to get them out. It's a deadly race against time. So, mate, it was one of the kids from the school that were killed here?
Yep.
สบายดีเจ้าชื่ออย่าง
ชื่อวิเลโกด
วิลกอดป่ะ
โดย
สบายดีแล้วคอยซื้อลายมีลายบ่อยู่นี่
ลายอีกก็มีการระเบิดขึ้นเลยก็ได้เสียหมู่เพื่อนที่หักแพงไปคนหนึ่ง
Sorry about that mate
คำแนะนำเพิ่นก็คือว่าบ่ต้องไปขุดเนาะสเก็ตเนาะแล้วก็บอกหมู่ครูหันว่าบ่ให้ขุดบ่ให้ลิ้นนำอันสเก็ตตัวใดที่ว่าเขาสงสัยนะ
ก็ให้ช่วยเอาระเบิดออกนะให้แน่เพราะร้านนี้ความยันกลัวร้ายเพราะเคยเสียหมู่เพื่อนไปแล้ว
เห็นอยู่ไสได้
เห็นดู
ขอบใจเด้อ
ขอบใจหลาย
Thank you mate I'm pretty sure it's a 904 fuse, Lynn, but I couldn't get a good look at the very front of the fuse to see what state it's in. So, if you did try and move it, you might be putting just enough force on it to drive it back into the detonator and the whole thing will go bang.
All right.
Can we ask who dug this, mate? Nobody's going to get in trouble.
Screw off.
What? What's he saying?
อันนั้นตัวอยู่ทางหัวเจ้าหันออกว่ะ
หันมันออกมันแน่นเลยมันออกหมดเลยนะ
Don't do that, mate. Don't do that. You'll get yourself killed. And look at all the kids around here and the houses.
บ่เจ้าบ่ควรเสียดประชาชนเราเด็กน้อยอยู่อ้อมแอมนี่นะ
If you do that, mate, you might be lucky. You might get away with it for 9 bombs. It's that last one that's the bitch. If you don't know what you're playing with and you try and move it, no, it's not real funny. You'll probably bloody get killed.
เจ้าคำนึงมาว่านึงว่าชีวิตเจ้าเนาะ
The utter destruction of Laos is unbelievable. Whatever moved was bombed. There is no way that a plane could distinguish whether it was a truck, whether it was a man on a bicycle, whether it was a man out plowing his fields, or the currents in a river. There are bomb craters upon bomb craters upon bomb craters upon bomb craters.
It was the first war, really, where most of the fighting was conducted by bombardment. So the Lao people didn't really even see their enemy. All they saw was a plane travelling very fast, or bombs just impacting on the ground and going off. This place is the most heavily bombed country on the face of the planet. It's just far too dangerous to get in there now to try and work out what type of fuse and what state that fuse is in. That big bomb course will be finished pretty soon.
Yep.
And then the province will have its own big bomb team to go around and get rid of things just like this. So this one is going to have to stay here until the big bomb team come back. We just need to try and make sure the head man speaks to the parents around here and tells them to keep control of their kids. It's hard to leave a bomb behind, especially near the school, but unfortunately to do a bomb like that we need a whole team. And there's a real shortage of big bomb teams in Laos at the moment. I'm an EOD technician, which is an explosive ordnance disposal technician. I've been in Laos now for 4 years, working with MAG, an international aid organisation, and I've been asked to help teach a course at the National Training Centre. All the bombs that were dropped on Laos through the war are just a continuing problem. Now, 30, 40 years after the fact, we've got a new generation of young Laos who weren't even around during the war that have to be trained to deal with this stuff so that the generations in the future won't have to deal with it as they do. Basically, the Big Bomb Project is for us to train teams from each province that can go back and deal solely with large aircraft bombs. I was lucky enough to learn my skills as an engineer in the Australian Army, but these guys are pretty much thrown in the deep end. Some go from high school to junior positions in UKR Laos, which is the Laos government's bomb disposal department, and they are learning very quickly to become big bomb team leaders. Miss Chanavong was one of the successful students of the last course. Now she's Laos' only female senior EOD technician.
อุบัติเหตุนี้ยุทธประทักษ์นี่ค่อนข้างร้าย เราฟังเกี่ยวกับตัวนี้มันน่าสนใจถ้าว่าเฮาซอยเขาได้นะทุกลูกระเบิดแม่นเฮาจักคิดว่าเฮาจะมี3วิธีเฮ็ดกับมัน1เฮาจะทำลายแห่งที่ทำลายกับที่2เฮาจะเอาไป
มันไม่ในตัวมันเลย
3เฮาจะทำลายอยู่เส้นอามแต่ว่าถ้าเฮาพลาดเพียงแต่เสี้ยววินาทีก็สามารถเฮ็ดให้เฮาบาดเจ็บหรือว่าตายได้
The guys are inexperienced, and we're going to have to really watch them like a hawk to make sure that everything happens the way it's supposed to happen and nobody does get hurt. There is an absolutely huge variety of bomb fuses. For example, some have timers, which can jam on impact and just be waiting for a knock to start ticking again. Inside, we usually have a pin held back under spring tension, often by only 2 very small ball bearings. What that means, unfortunately, is that if you subject the bomb to any sort of movement or knock, there's a good chance that that firing pin can strike the detonator and the whole thing will go bang. Hundreds of millions of dollars have been spent designing fuses and different types of bombs to drop, and they're extremely complex things. Every situation is different, and it's hard to get the students to understand that fact until they've actually seen it in the field. They want exact answers. There's a lot of grey area there. In the second phase of the course, we'll take the students down to a place called Ta'oi, where they'll be tested on live bombs exactly where they were dropped over 30 years ago. And we've got Mike Rowley, who's come over from Vietnam to run this practical phase of the course.
What's her opinion on the general standard?
เป็นได้นอนนักเรียนเฮาโดยทั่วไปแล้วเป็นอะไร
แต่ละบุคคลเนาะเพราะว่าความผิดพลาดของเขาจะบ่คือกันผิดพลาดคือสุคนผู้กรผู้ที่ประเมินนั้นแล้วก็ลืมคุดคุ้มที่จะทำได้ระเบิด
They will be required to work independently. So in here and in here, we've always got to remember: would we allow them loose on their own in the provinces?
Fellas, stop there. So these guys, mate, around here, please. Nobody's going to be in the danger area, and it's important to me to have a good interpreter like Lynn. A miscommunication in this line of work could be fatal. In bomb disposal, we try to keep things as calm as possible. Lynn's time as a monk helps him temper what I say sometimes when I'm a little bit frustrated. He's a bit of a calming influence, and I'd be absolutely lost without him. Lynn was a monk for 6 years, and Mike's interpreter, Ponsai, or Bob as we call him, was a monk for 13 years.
ที่เราเป็นพระบ่ให้มีการดื่มเหล้าหรือว่ามีสู้มีแฟนมีวันหนึ่งเราก็จะได้ซีกออกมาเป็นคฤหัสถ์ธรรมดาแล้วก็จะสามารถปฏิบัติได้ในอนาคตต่อไป
When they first came out of the monkhood, they really made up for lost time. And poor old Bob is still doing it.
แม่พงไอ้หนูเพชรเอาเบียร์
You want to stronger? You can put half of glass with lao to make this. And make cocktail.
Oh, cocktail.
Make everything working well on the parts of your body.
Especially your imagination, yeah?
Yeah.
There certainly will be some challenges when we go down to Ta'oi. We've got 69 bombs to get rid of in approximately 4 weeks. I suppose the worst case scenario is somebody gets killed. It's not an exact science. That's one of the risks that you take on board. It's the job that we do.
ปาการประเมินน่ะได้ผ่านผลไปเราหลังจากนั้นจะได้พอกันอยู่ตาโอยปรารถนาสิ่งใดก็ขอได้สิ่งนั้น
These guys will be out of their comfort zone very soon, mostly because the area is so remote. The fact that we've got minority populations and we've got people down there in Ta'oi that don't speak the normal Lao dialect, there's going to be quite a few challenges.
ยกตัวอย่างคืออยู่แต่โอยกับเจ้าที่เชื่อถือในเกี่ยวกับผีศาสนาผี some magic spirit, you know,
In Ta'oi?
in Taoy.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to worry too much about black magic.
I'm not worried, but the best thing when we get there, we have to go to see the chief of the village. Don't have to be arrogant. Just don't go to disturb or make something sad for the people in the village. We just stay in our camp after work.
I wouldn't worry about it too much, killer. Stick some garlic in your pocket, mate.
They said for a person who always clean their body is not a problem with the bathing soap.
I think so. The spirits are scared of soap.
Yeah. Did you do it?
I'm a Central Coast boy. Grew up on the Central Coast of New South Wales. Oh, Mum and Dad have been up there since they married. And I've got 2 brothers, one older, Heath, who's a bomb disposal technician. And I've got a younger brother, Gavin, who's also a bomb disposal technician. I don't know how that happened. I mean, my dad wasn't even in the army. You know, I suppose that gives Mum and Dad a bit to worry about now and again. But I tell you what, if somebody had told me back then that I'd be pulling bombs apart for a living, then, you know, I think I'd have laughed at them for sure. The reason we picked Ta'oi to do the practical phase of the course is that it's a place where the Ho Chi Minh Trail crossed into Vietnam. It's very, very close to the Vietnamese border and would have received a lot of special attention. It's absolutely littered with bombs. Laos was pretty much dragged into the Vietnam War. What the Americans were really worried about was the domino effect. Different countries in Southeast Asia falling to communism. Communism was the big evil of the day, and we've all learnt now that, you know, that's just not the case.
The security of all Southeast Asia will be endangered if Laos loses its neutral independence. I want to make it clear to the American people and to all the world that all we want in Laos is peace, not war.
The Ho Chi Minh Trail down here was bombed extremely heavily. The North Vietnamese had a major supply thoroughfare through Laos from North to South Vietnam. This was a problem for the Americans. They wanted to cut off the supply line, and to do that, they embarked on a huge bombing campaign in Laos. The air war here in Laos was termed to be the war over the fence. So the war here was really run in secret. Pretty much no information of it was getting back to the public in the West for a good 6 years. There were rules of engagement in Vietnam that dictated how bombing could be conducted. For example, they weren't allowed to bomb any closer than half a kilometre away from a temple. But once they came over the fence into the secret war in Laos, they had free hand to bomb wherever they want.
People of the United States are entitled to know everything that they possibly can with regard to any involvement of the United States abroad. As you know, in answer to a question I think Mr. Potter asked at the last news conference, I pointed out what were the facts. There are no American combat troops in Laos.
Laos was bombed for 9 years. And you can imagine being out here when the bombing was on. You know, that sort of thing just would stay with you forever.สบายดีเลย
ขอบใจเลย
หอมบ่
แต่ว่าสมัยสงครามเจ้าก็อยู่นี่บ่
เฮาเนี่ยเป็นทหารเป็นแพทย์แล้วแพทย์ประจำเมืองเจ้าไล่เบิ่ง3 ล้านป้ายมันก็สำเร็จแล้วเรื่องบอมเรื่องหยังมันก็ไล่กว่าประชาชนเฮา
With the bomb they drop in here
more than people
ไล่เลยลูก
มันนี่มีคนถูกบาดเจ็บย้อนระเบิดนี่มีบ่
7 คนตาย5ยัง2
แต่ว่าคอยเฮ็ดหน้าแต่ว่าคอยบ่ฮู้จักเรื่องบอมตกมาแต่ผ่านมาแต่ย่นแต่ย่านคอยบ่ฮู้จักแต่มันเชื่องไว้ในพื้นดินแต่จกคอยกุดถึกบอมมันแตกแต่เขาห้ามมาแต่บ้านนี่ไปห้าเมืองหั่นมัดมือได้มัดมือโอ้ยความทุกข์มันบ่เว้าได้ของไอ้เกตไว้ก็จีดไปไกลฮะแม่ห้ามก็เวลาเงี้ยมันไหลแต่ว่าเรื่องชีวิตนี่ยังบ่ทันตายนี่ยังเป็นแล้วนี่เป็นละล่ะนี่
Cluster munitions are what we call bombies up here. So if you look at the stilts or the legs for this house, they're actually dispenser halves. If you see a lot of these around, then you know that within that area there's going to be a lot of bombies. And they can contain up to 300 to 400 cluster munitions. Then each bombie is just a mass of ball bearings around a hunk of explosive. And they're what cause most damage with the children because the kids see the bombies and it looks like a piece of fruit or a ball. They pick them up and throw them to one another and sooner or later, bang.
Giờ ba Còn này nó คุณแม่ขอเอาไปขายอายแม่มีลูกดีเราจะปลิ้นเห็นคุดออกมาเป็นหน่วยปีอยู่แล้วเป็นโน่นเลยโน่นช่วงสะบัดนั่นมันตกลงแตกเลยตาชามเลยคนเจ็บบริยังเลยนะจริงบริยังจริง
So headman, he invites us there to show respect to the culture. So
ประจำห้องการนะผู้เจ้ามาฮอดนี่ก็เฮากินเหล้าอยู่เฮือนนั่นคอยฮู้จักว่าหน้าที่ของเฮาไปพบผู้เจ้าเลยตลอด
Okay, that's a bit more than what I was hoping for.
Not working with Big Bomb anymore today.
My legs are going to sleep. Tell you what, that stuff will pickle you.
But he is a person who look after, who protect us. So we don't have any money.
To give us some protection from the black magic. Can I have a tiny bit more?
เอาให้คุณซิมอีกน้อยนึงนะครับ
ขอบใจละลายเด้อ I'm just getting to bed pretty early tonight, I think.
Frying squirrel. It's gonna be lovely food tonight.
Oh, go Anna. Like chicken? Oh, how long's he been dead for? You bugs love your squirrel too.
Yeah. And rat.
And rat.
Yep.
All yours, fellas, I think. ค่อยว่าเราอยากเอาเมียลาวค่อยมากผู้สาวลาวแล้วผู้สาวบ่มากค่อยเด้ค่อยขี้หลายแล้วตุ้ยๆหน้าค่อยคือหน้านี่เนาะ
Okay, good morning everybody.
สบายดีทุกๆคน
Next phase of your course is to put into practice all the theory that you've been taught and learnt at the NTC by conducting render safe procedures and tasks on live unexploded aircraft bombs.
ก็ถือว่าเฮาได้เรียนมา
Oftentimes the guys, when they first come across UXO, you know, they're scared. They've seen what these things do to people back in their villages. Your senses are heightened, your muscles tighten up, you can feel your skin going cool. These guys really have to overcome that fear to become senior EOD technicians.
มันก็เฉยๆมันบ่ได้คิดว่ามันเป็นความตายอหยังนี่บ่คิดว่ามันมีความอันตรายอหยังหรอกโอ้ตัวนั้นคัดสิว่าไปหม่างมันของบ่แม่นแนวเฮ็ดมาหม่างบ่แนวนั้นซะเนาะเฮาต้องคิดอยู่แล้วว่าถ้ามีความผิดพลาดมาถึงชีวิต
What are the guys checking, mate?
Try to identify fuse.
Okay, we'll just keep an eye on that, mate. You can see that the guys do have concerns when the job's going on and often won't voice it because they don't want to lose face, they don't want to be seen to be scared. I mean, I had the same concerns myself when I came up against my first bomb. I guess the way I tried to put them at ease is now and again I'll act the clown a little bit to try and make them a bit comfortable. Leeches everywhere.
Brother, leeches is coming to us.
I hate leeches. What do you reckon, mate? What are you more scared of, leeches or that? Female leeches, eh? They don't want to bite her. คุณยายมีแต่ดักใหญ่เนาะ Got a war wound, mate. We had a guy when I was in the army didn't wear underpants and leeches everywhere. And he's oh boy, up inside, mate. It started eating and got bigger.
I think I've seen how it's better.
All right, mate, you stay in your little circle of safety. So much for the big loud bushman.
ผมอยู่ทางหน้ามันฟิวมันเป็นฟิวเก่าจุนสีฟิวรังอย่างย่างเก่าจุนหา
ทางแทกมาแต่พุ่นเท่าไหร่มาหาบ้านมัน
2,000 ปลายเมตร
ปลายเท่าไหร่
Yeah, so more than 2 k's. So blow it in place. Châu sẽ xài din lơ bớt chắc gram
อีกตามบ่เทียนบอกคนให้ใส่3 กิโล
3 kilo vậy. Okay. Basically what he's done is tied it on with bamboo because they haven't brought any sandbags with them. So that's something that I'll have to mention to him as not such a good point. It means that he has to dig around a bomb that's fused and possibly impart some shock on a fuse that's armed and ready to go.
เขาตัดสินใจว่าสิทำลายแห่งสูงในเมื่อเป็นอย่างนั้นเขาสิได้แต่งตั้งแต่ละจุดฟังเสียงนับ1 2 3ยิง
Oh, Leo, okay. The moment where I get the biggest adrenaline rush is after a demolition. You feel everything, and that's a bit of a rush. It's pretty good. I get less stress from my job now than what I would have if I had to sit in an office in Sydney. I love it. If I can keep working here forever, I will. There's certainly enough bombs here in Laos to keep me busy for the rest of my life. I'm going to kick your ass, mate.
Good. Oh, yeah.
Okay, Vienna.
I really should have shut up. Bop in you. Waking up to another day of bomb disposal can be a bit daunting, but for the Lao people, it's a respected career choice and it's very important for them to pass.
แต่ว่าบ่ได้เคยเฮ็ดเวียกอยู่ไสมีแต่เรียนจบแล้วก็อยู่เฮือนอยู่บ้านธรรมดาแต่ว่าบ่ได้เฮ็ดเวียกคัดเลือกเอาได้6คนเนาะชีวิตมันคัดเลือกแต่แข่งแต่ว่าได้3คนแต่ว่าตกไป3คน
ก็ถือว่าเป็นผู้หนึ่งโชคดีได้มาเฮียนในครั้งนี้
เจ้า
He seems like a good bloke, that Dong Jai, but
Yeah, he's just Mr. Steady, Mr. Gray. He's not a superstar. He just seems a bit, quiet.
well, we shall see.
ไปบ้านนี่ยังเล่นกลับมาคืนอีกบ่แม่นมันบ่แม่นผู้นี้แล้วคนใหม่ได้
เฮาก็ต้องได้ถ้ามันมีเข็มซับเข็มหยังเฮาก็ต้องได้ตัดออกเนาะ
อันคันสิเว้าแล้วตัวนั้นนั่นมันก็ขึ้นกับการตัดสินใจของเจ้าว่าจะแม่นขึ้นกับการตัดสินใจของเจ้าที่ว่าจะจัดการกับบ่มในดังกล่าว
ขอความช่วยเหลือแต่ว่ามีการแนะนำประชาชนบ่การย้ายประชาชนนะ
There's some things that we just can't teach, and they come from life experience. And oftentimes, guys need to have a bit of that before they can be really effective. You may have sick people, or you may have very old people, and a lot of times you're going to have drunk people there, and that can make evacuation more difficult for younger students like Dong Jai.
เขาเมียนบอกว่าเมื่อคนเคยจะไปยกมือคนหมอเป็น10 เป็นเจ้าแล้วเขาจะเป็นล้อหมอเมียนเป็นเจ้า
nhà hưu này nhà hưu à
Là đi nhâm hi là đi nhâm gia nữa.
บ่ระวังบ่บี้นะทางนั้นมีทางบ่เจ้ามายังทางนี้
Whoa. Watch where you're stepping.
ระวังบ่บี้เด้อ
There were some bombies around here, but someone's trying to have a bit of a squeeze and see that we don't bloody step on any.
If there's one, there'll be more.
Của tổng nam
Make your decision.
แจ้งให้น้องเขามาเตรียมอุปกรณ์กันห้ามกันยังออกไปเคลื่อนย้ายหลังจากการเคลื่อนย้ายบอมใหญ่แล้วออกไปแล้วจังสิทำลายบอมบีนี่
It's not what you want from a team leader, really. You've got to have some presence and restore confidence in and the other people. At the moment, he hasn't shown too much of that.
The young fella Don Jai, he's putting in the best effort that he can, but I think unfortunately he's just not quite ready for the responsibility. Dong Jai's team's having a bit of trouble evacuating an old man from the village. Sometimes it can be a bit difficult to get the older people to trust you. A lot of the older people that were around in the war often are reluctant to move from their village, and they come out with statements like, well, the bombs didn't get me in the war, they're not going to get me now. Sabai đi luôn. Coi sư lại đấy.
คนประเทศ
ออสเตรเลียเนาะคอยมาจากออสเตรเลีย
บ่ม
เจ้าสบายดีบ่ไอ้
ปีนึงเพิ่น130ก็เกิด
พวกเรา
อันนั้นเดี๋ยวอันลูกระเบิดก็มีบ่อยู่อันขอบเขตนี่เพิ่นโยนมาทิ่มใส่นะ
นี่แหละ
หลายบ่
B52
B52 มันบ่
B52ก็แม่นก็ขึ้นพื้นเลยบ่ผักบ่พร้อมเลยบ่มีคุมซั่นมีคุมโอ้ยคุมก็ถือคุมก็แตกบ่คุม
ตอนนั้นหันคนตายหลายบ่เพาะเดี๋ยว
เช่นบ่เด้อคอยเมียก็บ่ได้เมียก็ตายเลยเสียนั่นเนี่ยเด้อ
โอ้เมีย
เด้อไอ้เด้อ
อ้ายก็ตายอ้ายก็ย้อนระเบิด
and his older brother too
ลูกก็ตายพี่เจ้าคนยังได
So he lost his whole family, mate.
May we bow our heads in prayer. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we give Thee thanks for the ability to be used as Thy servants to seek freedom for the world as we know it. Guide us in this our mission, that we might successfully complete not only this, but other activities in life. These and other things we ask in Thy name. Amen.
Fly the mission is briefed and have a safe flight. Move, Jim. Down.
Every day you fly a certain number of missions, and you fly those missions regardless of whether there's any targets available or not. So what they're doing is simply decimating any area with human beings in it.
สวยเรือเราเราได้ยินประกาศแจ้งการแหละกรุณาด้วยยับยั้งสายสวยออกจากสถานที่นี้เนาะ
ตายกระจากสิตอนนี้จากชุนแล้วเจ้าทายกระทายเพิ่งปะเปล่าบอมใบเนี่ยบางนายตันเตี้ย
One bombing mission, one B-52 is more than 100 bombs. 580,000 bombing missions in 9 years. There's a bloody lot of bombs laying around. If we're lucky, the fuse is deteriorated and we can remove the bomb and blow it up later at a demolition range. And that's really the only way to make it safe. But we still have to be careful moving it as it's full of explosives.
ข้างนี้ขึ้นเลยบัด
บอมบีพร้อมจะถึงทำลายเราได้ยินประกาศแจ้งการแหละกรุณาด้วย
One thing you really notice when you do the evacuations is the older people, you can see at times that they're flashing back to memories of the bombs being dropped through the war.
รายงานเข้ามาติดเสียเลย
1 2 3ยิง
จันทวรปลอดภัยแล้วพากันกลับบ้านได้แล้วพวกเจ้าออกจากป่าได้แล้ว
We're only a short way into the second phase of the course now, and I can see that we're probably not going to get all 69 bombs done. There's a heap of factors that are against us. We've got difficult terrain. We've got some difficult local customs that we have to get around. The weather's not helping. I mean, once the wet season sets in, we're probably not going to get to some of these bombs for another 6 months, but we'll certainly try and get as many done as possible.
คนตายจึงหามไปที่ปราสาทตามประเพณีตาอ้อยมื้อนี้หามได้แต่คนตาย
โอเค
ข้าสั่นกับแกเอาบ่ต้องหาม
อยู่นี่ตัวนี้มันต้องเป็นอยู่พี่นะบ่มตัวนี้ตั้งอยู่พี่
ค่อยคิดว่าแผนที่บ่ถึก
พยันแม่นนั้น
You might only just have to give that a knock and the striker will release. So that one there's a definite no move, have to be dealt with exactly where it is, which is going to be a problem. Plus if we get a bit more rain, it'll be over, be covered. Smells like somebody already bloody has.
It's got that phase now where you can start to form an opinion on these guys, you know.
Get employed as an SEOD or not.
No superstars yet, that's for sure.
But Pinark, he seems like a pretty switched on dude, mate.
And you got him today, haven't you?
Yeah, yep, this afternoon, mate.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
ฟังอยู่
บอกพูดเรื่องอะไรขึ้นมาส่งกระเจเพราะว่ากระเจอัดเลยเนี่ย
กระเจรถเราบ่
Go easy. If it gets away, we've got people down the bottom there and this will bloody squash it. Fellas, I don't know if this is such a bloody good idea. Well, Pinot doesn't seem to get flustered, and that's a good sign. He listens, he's confident, he's got a good rapport with his guys, and I think in time he's going to make a really good team leader.
Yên กลับไปประเมินไปอีกบ้านหนึ่งอยู่สวรรณเขต
500 พลอยู่ทุ่งนาใกล้ๆบ้านห้องเฮียน2อันเนาะมีเวียกหลายอยู่สวรรณเขตเลยเจ้าเฮียนแล้วเลยเจ้าไปสวรรณเขตเจ้าเลยมีเวียกหลาย
ไอ้เกียบสอกบอลกับบังเด้อเกียม1 2 3ยิงมื้อนี้ทำลายใหญ่ก็เลยมีเบียร์หลาย
เอาส้มเสยเพิ่นเต้ส้มเสยเพิ่นนะ
เสียงพวงดินแดนวิมานหนาวกายสะท้านหนาวสั่นสะเทือนผู้จงเป็นวงแสงเดือนผู้จงเป็นวงแสงเดือนเมฆน้อยลอยเลือนยามเมื่อคืนวันเพ็ญ
I'd just like to say very well done. A lot of hard effort's been put into this phase of the course over the preceding weeks.
We've done 43 bombs and I can see Pinar's getting tired, but he's got his biggest test to come yet, and that's back on that bomb behind the school. I mean, I know he wants to go and see his family, mate. I understand that. I'd want to do the same thing. But this is a bit of an emergency because the thing's in the middle of a village and uncovered. The other problem we have is the Rocket Festival.
บุญบั้งไฟที่เพิ่นเฮ็ดนี่เนาะ
And everybody's going to be drunk and somebody's going to try and open the bloody thing up.
แล้วมีเป็นไงแล้วกระโจกมันยังกูอยู่รอดตลอดจะตีศึกสงครามมันละเถยมีเบิ้ลเมื่อได้บอล500 คนกับ200ไปก็เลยกันลายตรงไหน
The illegal bomb scrap trade is an escalating problem. I guess it's a pretty scary thing. You know, maybe one large bomb body sold could probably provide food for 2 or 3 months, at least, for the whole family. I guess it's pretty hard to stop kids from doing that when they see all of this money. They want to have it. But we're just fighting a losing battle.
Bay lènไปธรรมดาเลยแลนไปลิ้นแลนเตะมันเอิ้นมาแล้วก็ตีทุบน้องกันเลยคิดว่าเป็นเลขเศษได้สิคุดเอามาขายแต่คุดเอาได้มันใหญ่คุดเบิ่งดูระเบิดคือระเบิดเอาเด็กย่านเลยตกใจเลยย่านเลยก็หนีเลยมาฮอนเฮือนแล้วก็ไปบอกพี่พ่อเลยเราไปเบิ่งเลยเราบ่เชื่อมาเฮือนอีกวันนี้สิไปเฮือนลูกศิษย์แล้วชวนเราไปเบิ่งอีกเลยแล้วขุดเบิ่งวันนี้เลยมันแม่นอลี
I've just had a report that the kids have actually found another bomb, another 500-pound bomb in the middle of the road in between both the schools in that village. So now we've got 2 bombs to do straight away. Yep.
จะต้องจัดการระเบิดในทางคนเดียวแต่ว่าพี่นาสิมาในตอนบ่าย
Yeah, all right. Then, mate, I'll do this one, and Pina can do the one out the back of the school.
Okay. They want to make construction.
Tell him to go easy with that pick, mate.
แล้วให้ซับค่อยๆได้อันนั้น
Yeah, I know, but... No, I'm not scared. I just don't want to fucking die. Well, for all we know, that could have a time fuse on it, that bomb, and it might just need a whack to start it ticking again. This bomb still contains about 87 kilos of high explosives in the bomb. There'd be a fair bit of damage, mate. If you look at it, it's right near the bloody fuse box for the village. So there goes all the power for one. And there'd be at least 25 houses in the immediate danger area. There's one school there, another school just here. If we don't get it done now, they'll just build the road over the top of the damn thing.
It's about 5 guys. Let's put this here.
I tell you what, guys, we're not going to do that. Because if the tail snaps off, the bomb goes straight back in and smash the nose fuse. If that happened, we'd all be gone. We'd be dead. Just vaporised, pink mist.
Careful on your head.
It looks like it's a 904. The fuse has been sheared off, which means the striker that hits the detonator to function the fuse is not there at all. But you should never move anything that's fused at all, never. Because this is in the road between the 2 schools, that's the only reason that we are moving this one now. Can we please send somebody over to go and see the teachers? When we start to pull it, nobody talks, okay? The only person talking will be me and Lynn. Remember, nobody walk backwards, only sideways or forwards, so you don't trip. Okay, now together. And I'm walking fucking backwards. All right, and up again. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. Let's get this one straight out to the demolitions range, and then let's get straight into Pina's bomb. The other bomb is just up that way, probably about 200 metres. Right, Pino, well this is it, mate, the big one. He's the man with responsibility. So he's the man that has to do the final check to make sure everything is okay. Because if things go bad, it will go on his head and nobody else's.
และเจ้าจะต้องเป็นคนสุดท้ายที่ว่าเช็คระบบต่างๆเนาะ
Just let them know that when they get down near the nose, be very careful.
อันน่ะรถคุณลงไปใกล้ๆ
Just go easy, yeah? Go easy. Well, I'm sorry to say, Pino, you've drawn the short straw, mate. This fuse is not sheared off. It's all there and it's all live.
มันคดอยู่แต่มันหัก
So what do you reckon we'll have to do, Pino?
สิยิงกันนั่นบ่
I mean, the house is, what, only 30 metres over there, mate? This one here, only about 20.
อันนี้นั่นถ้าว่าสภาพมันยังสมบูรณ์แบบนี้นี่เราตัดลงไปมันจะตีออกไปเลยนะแผนเคกเวล
100%, mate. We're going to have to do a cracker barrel hit. There's the fuse, boys, okay?
อันนี้มันฟิวเดอร์สมมุติว่า
Okay. So we might just spin him around. Oh, that's better.
คือโน้
When we fire our cracker barrel, fellas, we're shooting down here, 3 centimetres off, and then boom, to cut that off so that it will be like that.
ถ้าว่าได้ยินเสียงเขาประกาศนี่แล้วกรุณาเด้อย่ำย้ายซ้ายสวยออกไปสปอร์ต
ไปยับออกไปยับไปถ่ายยงเยี่ยมดูบนเขามาไข่เด้อ
ย่ำย้ายซ้ายสวยออกไปสปอร์ต
All right, Lynn, you and I now we'll just stand back a bit and observe, okay? If he's got any questions he wants to ask, feel free.
โอเคตึบ
อันนั้นส่วนเอากระเจยิงมาให้เฮาเด้อ
And hey, lot have a man 10 นาทีเด้อ The striker is gone, mate. She's all good. So that bomb now is 100% safe to move. See the hole there now, Lynn? That's where the striker was. The cracker barrel, mate, was perfect. You did a bloody good job. Back, no? Brad Pitt จะฮู้ว่า Brad Pitt คนอเมริกาพระเอกคนอเมริกาเนาะ
ดาราฮอลลีวูดวะ
He'll do one film and get about $20 million for one bloody movie ค่อยคิดว่าเฮ็ดอันเดียวเลยพอ
สำหรับเจ้าบ่
โอ้ค่อยบ่ Brad Pitt คุณละอ้อเนาะค่อยบ่แม่ละอ้อค่อยมีแต่หน้าคือคุณมา
อันน่ะแต่ว่าชุดนี้นี่บ่ไปยังเฮ็ดนี่ก็ได้แต่ว่าชุดหน้าหั่นนะเอาเพื่อไว้ But then to start doing that safety.
Might want to move that one over. Right, boys. Often when I take away a bomb from a village, we get a lot of mixed feelings. I can sense that the people are happy to have that bomb gone because it doesn't pose a danger to them anymore, but they're also sad to see the money from the sale of that scrap walking out the door.
Good job, boys.
But they're still full of explosives. So what can you do? Chào má ta bà niบ่โอ้เจ้าเฮียนหยังอยู่ห้องเฮียนอ่างน่ะเฮียน
พ่อนก็ไปตอนนาวันหนักคดีพวก
ซ้ำ
เรา
นี่วะคนงามบ่อันนี้เจ้าพอนบ่
บุญบั้งไฟที่เป็นเฮ็ดเนี่ยเนาะเป็นเฮ็ดขึ้นมาเพื่อว่าบูชาหาเทวดาที่อยู่ทางฟ้า พื่อว่าให้เพื่อนหันส่งฝนลงมาให้ถูกต้องตามฤดูกาล
We should have crash helmets. Should put a helmet on. It's funny until somebody loses a head.
Do you have this in Australia?
It's not like this. You don't build your own rocket and shoot him off. You'd be arrested, mate. It's almost like they're trying to shoot the American planes. They're only about 40 years too late. When I was a young soldier, I remember when the Gulf War happened, I was champing at the bit to be asked to go. Nowadays, seeing what I've seen and dealing with trying to clean up the mess after a major war, I don't think I'd be so keen to jump in anymore.
โอ้เขาจะเอามาทิมเลยกระยานคือกันให้เขามาเอาไปคืนเลยในโมเมนต์ของเรา